For example, there's a video called Crushing Snakes. There's tons of these videos. There's also, let me go to 21st and I haven't misspelled it. I know what I was about to show. It was called, um, wow.
The regular man has always questioned the unknown, especially what lays beyond their everyday experiences. But the men in black don't want you to know. In particular, since the mid-20th century, people all over the world have recounted experiences of unexplainable phenomena, things they allegedly have seen, heard, and felt, whether intentionally or unintentionally witnessed. Often an authority would come under the guise of easing their minds and to let them know that everything was under control. Rather than offering answers, however, these men in black instead sought to sow doubt. What you saw was not what you thought it was. The Collection Agency. In 1967, Robert Richardson was driving his car at night in Toledo, Ohio, when he hit something.
Right here.
Have you ever had a secret that you...
Yes, these people do exist. Yes, they do exist, because I actually saw them. Their MIP is so fucking lazy, they don't even fucking care about us. This is their healthcare, whole entire family. I was threatened by them years ago, just to keep quiet, because I met one or two bosses in the industry.
would die for? I can say that people have died for my secret. And I think I might die too. So I'm sitting at my desk, sipping whiskey and looking at the file on my computer. With a single click of a button, all my hard work would be gone. All the blood, sweat, and tears just wasted. And I would have lost my sanity for nothing. But deleting it would be for the best. It would keep me safe. It would keep me out of a federal prison for sure. But it would mean that I'm the only one who would know the truth. The whiskey helps, but not a lot. I'm Charlie Wade, one of 4 reporters for the Gavin Chronicle.
Because that goes after, or was it right? It was close to the end.
And 2 hours later, I printed it out and slid it into the same manila envelope David left me. I also made sure to put back all the papers I'd taken out. My boss needed to see this. He needed to know what was going on.
And their MIP doesn't care about this shit. You all think that I will listen to your dumb ass motherfucker shit. Let's see how you act. Okay, years ago I saw 2 different alien species. One was a bald ass motherfucker with cancer shots. And there was another one that was a Krypton planet. I don't know. Red Sun planet. And I don't even have to listen to your asses anymore, because I know about them. They're the owners of the insurance, and the vet industry. Sorry.
Everyone needed to know. It was dangerous, but that didn't mean they needed it any less. I walked out into my living room to find Agent Yar and Agent Sap sitting there. They were between me and the doorway. There was no way I could get there before they grabbed me.
So it goes. Most everyone thinks that owning a business is hard. Yes, it is, and kind of not. Whenever you sign an LLC paper or ownership paperwork, it goes through all different people. They have to find people that's willing to work for you and other things. Right now on job sites, half of the jobs aren't even real because of these dumbasses thinking, oh, let's kick out tons of fucking people and fuck around, find out we don't even want to do their fucking work. Carry our whole entire family.
Washington. Two harbor patrolmen in the Washington state named Harold H. Dahl and Fred L. Chrisman spotted a UFO over the water of Puget Sound, Washington. It was 1947, and after this incident, they were approached by a man dressed in black that forcefully advised them to not discuss the incident further. This was one of the first sightings of the men in black. The men were described as being extremely mysterious, never looking the patrolman in the eyes. Ooh, probably to cover up their reptile eyes, am I right? In our number 9 spot, we have the Stargazer. A young man by the name of Harry lived in the country on a farm and was fascinated by the stars. He was given a telescope for Christmas one year, and he would look up at the stars and study them every night. One night, he spotted something in the sky like nothing he had ever seen before. It was a triangle, metal-looking object flying in the sky. He thought that it had to be a UFO. He ran inside to call his friend and tell him about it, and after he got off the telephone, he heard a knock on his door. He opened it to see 3 men dressed in black from head to toe. There was something a bit weird about them though. They all kind of looked alike, and their noses were almost non-existent. Before Harry could speak, they were telling him to forget what he had seen and never speak of it again. They also subtly threatened his family and his future if he spoke about it. Terrified, he vowed not to. He eventually decided to share his story online because technically he wouldn't be speaking about it. Upon years of reflection, Harry believes that he met some kind of alien. In our number 8 spot, we have the president's Men in Black. In 2012, it was discovered that President Obama of the USA had a few men in black working for him that could have very well been from another world. Footage was discovered of his security at the US-Israel Policy Conference, and they were looking rather alien-like. From the front, completely normal. From the back, we see a bald man with no ears and a pointy chin. His nose looks short and rounded, and his eyes appear to be dark and sunken in. Do you think there were possibly alien men in black guards guarding the president that day? It's definitely possible. In our number 7 spot, we have the Firewatch sighting. A man named Gabe was working a shift at a Firewatch tower in the woods when he saw a black SUV pull up in the wee hours of the morning. A few minutes later, the sound of a firearm went off. The next thing he knew, there was a knock on his tower and 2 large men in black were waiting behind the door. He opened the door and they immediately questioned him, asking him to reveal what he saw. He said he saw nothing, and after a moment they appeared to believe him. They told him to never speak of this experience to anyone. Looking back, he definitely thinks he met one of the men in.
Okay. Okay, after this, I need to open another tab.
Are you researching dental implants?
the movie franchise, but did you know that there are stories of real Men in Black going as far back as the 40s? It makes sense. If aliens were real, wouldn't you want to cover them up? Wouldn't you want to hide their existence? From a couple being stalked outside their house to a receptionist being harassed, these are real Men in Black sightings caught on camera. Let's begin. Number 5. Watching outside the house.
That's a blurry
Before we
photo.
make like James F. Cahill
Yeah,
and
no.
dive in, let's first explore the legends surrounding the Men in Black. Who are they? In both fictional popular culture and popular UFO website Out There with Ted as part of an article about the photographer. This man, who chose to go by the alias of Jack Smith, but that's boring, so we're going to be calling him Captain Banana Hammer, was being interviewed for Out There with Ted as he claimed to have had several encounters with unusual beings ever since he was a child. One of Captain Banana Hammer's stories goes as follows, according to the Out There with Ted website. He recalled once meeting a strange boy with no hair and big eyes near his house in Loch Raven, Maryland. He led Captain Banana Hammer toward a bizarre humming noise that was emanating from deep inside the woods. On the way, the boy showed him a strange contraption. Captain Banana Hammer said that the device would behave like a flashlight, but it would flood the trees and bushes in the beam of night, not light. Soon, they reached the source of the humming noise. It was a small metallic craft about the size of a van. Standing in front of the craft were several more beings. All except one were similar to the boy that was accompanying Captain Banana Hammer. The other, however, was taller and described by Captain Banana Hammer as almost praying mantis-like in appearance. Our captain became scared and decided to run home. Suddenly, one of the beings aimed the flashlight-like device at him. He was engulfed in a beam of darkness and lost consciousness. Captain Banana Hammer awoke bruised like a banana and battered sometime later, and both the craft and strange beings were gone. He noticed a scoop-shaped scar on one of his legs, a mark commonly reported by people who claim to have been abducted. At the time of the interview, Captain Banana Hammer was in his 50s. Oddly, considering how strange his experience with the
Okay. Years ago, I saw 2 UFOs, basically. Plain of sight. I have them blankly in my memory. I'm gonna say the 2. It was, I already showed one in a previous video. Actually, 2 of them. No, not that. What everyone believes is actually completely false. The ones that y'all want to meet, they don't even fucking care about your asses. I think it was. Let me search up what it was. No, it was, what was it called again? Okay, let's show these. It's not this one, not that one, not that one, not that one. No, 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 right here. Okay, this is the shit, but it was a little bit more dirtier. I didn't see the top, it was only at the bottom. They only said they'll kill your whole entire family threat, but one person was completely bald.
the boy was, that's not the paranormal experience that unsettles him the most. At least that was a one-off. I mean, sure, it was strange, but it was a one and done. What really unsettles him is that ever since, he claims to have had constant run-ins with the Men in Black. Is it possible they know what happened between Captain Banana Hammer and the mysterious boy? Luckily, on one occasion, he had a camera on hand, and they grabbed the photos you're seeing now. The men are oddly similar, almost identical. As far as Captain Bananahammer was concerned, the weird identical look confirmed they were legitimate Men in Black, and it's a solid theory. I mean, Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson are identical. Captain Bananahammer went on to say they were dressed in identical black suits, white shirts, skinny black ties, fedoras, and black sunglasses. They were pale, they were stiff, and they moved eerily in unison. They had oblong faces with a thin line for a mouth. Their whole vibe was cold and creepy. Number 2. Missing Woman. This next clip was submitted to a YouTube channel, Apex TV, who investigate paranormal goings-on by an anonymous source. Barbecue? Hot? Who knows? He claims to be a security guard at a law firm. According to his account, their receptionist went missing. In reviewing CCTV footage of the previous day, he spotted something peculiar. He couldn't exactly post private security footage to YouTube, so he played the footage back and sneakily recorded it on his phone. For now, let's take the footage at face value. After briefly hovering by the window, an odd man enters the reception area. He fits all the descriptions we've been given of what a man in black should look like. He's tall, he's thin, he has stilted movement. The pair have an exchange. It's not clear what's said, but whatever is said, it clearly troubles the woman as she reaches for her security gun. But that doesn't seem to faze the man. Far from it. With a simple wave of the hands, the woman's demeanor changes entirely. Dropping the gun without a second's hesitation, she abandoned her post, leaving with the man. People are pretty divided on this one. Some people think this is a real man in black who has come to escort the woman away, presumably because of something she has seen, something she knows. But there are many others, including people who normally believe in the men in black, who think that this one is very much staged. Which side of the debate do you land on? Number 1. Harassing hotel staff. And we end, of course, with the most infamous Men in Black captured on camera moment of all time. In October 2009, 2 people claimed to have witnessed a large triangular-shaped object hovering above the hotel they were staying at in Canada. Had the Bermuda Triangle come to swallow up their house? Was it the world's largest snooker rack? Or was something alien afoot? You'll realize that's a great forward-referencing joke in a bit here. The witnesses reported the event to the authorities, and a short time later, 2 mysterious men dressed in black suits visited the hotel. This video...
Okay, that's how it goes. I wonder how I act whenever I show. It was Google right here. I remember people being there, but look now. They're building shit there now. I wonder how I act whenever that shit gets out there. A whole street's gone just like that.
Uploaded to CreepyPaste's YouTube channel in October 2013 is purported to be footage taken from the hotel lobby security camera. Many stories of the Men in Black recount them having odd movements, and that is certainly clear in this case. Pay close attention to the gait of the man on the left. He seems to have trouble keeping his foot straight as he walks, almost as if he's an alien who had
So it goes. The Navarre and 21st. So it goes right here. 4179. Now they're fucking building shit there. Sorry, your world's already fucking gone. Everyone's already turned into fucking animals there. Sorry. I already knew who it was. It was, I forget what the person's name was. But really, it's actually very important. And one's, was Angel. This is one series. Judy. No, no, wasn't it? It's videos. Right there. This is basically more like it. How it displays. See y'all later.
Hi, welcome to Hell. This is the help desk. Please keep in mind that this is my Friday and I am simply going through the motions in order to get to my weekend. How can I put in the least amount of effort to help you today? Well, that's not an attitude that'll take you to the top of the corporate ladder. Unless it's an emergency, I'm pretty uninterested in climbing a ladder of any kind. It's really not my preferred form of you. Okay? You don't want me to, but I will get to you. What are you talking about?
That's all of them.
People do. Well,
Your souls. Sorry. That's ended.
To take a lesson in how to walk like a human and graduated with a mere D+. Remember when I said something alien was afoot? Gosh, I'm good. These alleged men in black asked to speak to the guests that had witnessed the event, but were told by staff that they were no longer staying in the hotel. Several of the staff members who spoke to the men described them as looking identical, just like Captain Banana Hammer had in our previous story. Their skin was very pale and they had no eyebrows or eyelashes. One staff member went so far as to say that it looked like both men had fake hair. Were these bald aliens disguised as humans or just pale twins with alopecia? They also said that both men had very large, deep blue eyes and that they never blinked once the whole time that they spoke. So what do you think? Is this the real Men in Black or something else? Do you believe any of these encounters were real? And if not, do you believe in the Men in Black in general? Do you think there's a chance they've wiped your memory? Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on screen right now.
In 1980, there was a tomb discovered in Jerusalem that the world largely doesn't know about.
From UFO sightings to strange spacemen showing up in pictures, there are a number of situations where you better believe that the Men in Black are showing up for and telling you to stay quiet. In our number 10 spot, we have UFO spotting in Washington. Two harbor patrolmen in the Washington state named Harold H. Dahl and Fred L. Chrisman spotted a UFO over the water of Puget Sound, Washington. It was 1947, and after this incident, they were approached by a man dressed in black that forcefully advised them to not discuss the incident further. This was one of the first sightings of the Men in Black. The men were described as being extremely mysterious, never looking the patrolman in the eyes. Ooh, probably to cover up their reptile eyes, am I right? In our number 9 spot, we have the Stargazer. A young man by the name of Harry lived in the country on a farm and was fascinated by the stars. He was given a telescope for Christmas one year, and he would look up at the stars and study them every night. One night, he spotted something in the sky like nothing he had ever seen before. It was a triangle, metal-looking object flying in the sky. He thought that it had to be a UFO. He ran inside to call his friend and tell him about it, and after he got off the telephone, he heard a knock on his door. He opened it to see 3 men dressed in black from head to toe. There was something a bit weird about them though. They all kind of looked alike, and their noses were almost non-existent. Before Harry could speak, they were telling him to forget what he had seen and never speak of it again. They also subtly threatened his family and his future if he spoke about it. Terrified, he vowed not to. He eventually decided to share his story online because technically he wouldn't be speaking about it. Upon years of reflection, Harry believes that he met some kind of alien. In our number 8 spot, we have the President's Men in Black. In 2012, it was discovered that President Obama of the USA had a few men in black working for him that could have very well been from another world. Footage was discovered of his security at the US-Israel Policy Conference, and they were looking rather alien-like. From the front, completely normal. From the back, we see a bald man with no ears and a pointy chin. His nose looks short and rounded, and his eyes appear to be dark and sunken in. Do you think there were possibly alien Men in Black guards guarding the president that day? It's definitely possible. In our number 7 spot, we have the Firewatch sighting. A man named Gabe was working a shift at a Firewatch tower in the woods when he saw a black SUV pull up in the wee hours of the morning. A few minutes later, the sound of a firearm went off. The next thing he knew, there was a knock on his tower and 2 large men in black were waiting behind the door. He opened the door and they immediately questioned him, asking him to reveal what he saw. He said, he saw nothing, and after a moment, they appeared to believe him. They told him to never speak of this experience to anyone. Looking back, he definitely thinks he met one of the men in black. Originally, he chalked these men up to some kind of gang, but now he definitely thinks that those two men were the men in black. In our number 6 spot, we have the UFO researcher. In 1976, Dr. Herbert Hopkins, who is a UFO researcher, got a call from someone who claimed to be a rep from a New Jersey UFO organization. The man asked if Hopkins was alone and if Hopkins would be willing to share his research. Hopkins said sure and began sharing with him. Once he hung up the phone, a man was at his doorstep. He described the man as being bald, without eyebrows, wearing a neatly tailored black suit. He had red lips and pale white skin. The man took out a coin and told Hopkins to watch it. It started to develop a silver color instead of copper, and then the silver became bluish and the penny was getting quite fuzzy, out of focus, blurred, and then it was simply gone. Apparently after this incident, he was instructed to destroy all of his research. In our number 5 spot, we have the Dan Aykroyd story. This story is wild to me because I have literally had the thought.
Okay. So Dan Aykroyd was doing a story on MIB, or aliens basically, and got his term canceled. So it goes, MIB, I know you're watching this. I was threatened by 2 real-life aliens. They don't care. They're your fucking bosses behind the companies. They don't even fucking care about your asses. Sorry.
Why doesn't the dad from Crossroads barely work anymore? Did Hollywood cast him out? Like, I've literally just thought about this last week. Well, that honestly might be the case, and I certainly wonder about that after hearing about how he shared this story with people online. So 20 years ago, in 2002, 20 years ago, wow, Dan was creating a series called Out There for the Sci-Fi Channel, and it talked about UFOs, alien abductions, crop circles, and all kinds of extraterrestrial research. One day he was in the middle of doing some interviews when he went outside between 42nd and 8th Street in New York for a break, and he went on a phone call with Britney Spears.
Okay. Years ago I showed the 2 videos already. Let me go to it again. Those 2 videos are, put it right back onto this street. There was 3 girls with, no. Okay, there was 3 girls going to school at the old Canton South High School before this street got added. The road to Raft and Whipple. That one. Before that got added. Yeah, I can remember shit. I know that they're there, but really they're not there anymore. Sorry. And then after that, I got to meet with 2 real fucking alien bosses behind the companies. They don't even fucking care about your asses anymore.
Funny enough, talking to him about their new movie, when he looked out at the street and saw a long black SUV and 2 guys.
Because I believe it was on the May 28th video that I did, I believe I caused the protests, by the way. So, I wonder what that means. Exposing one could cause some protests, and exposing the other could cause some serious fucking damage.
Guys in black outside of it. One was very tall and they were just glaring at him. He turned away for a second, and when he looked back, they were gone. He has gone on record to say that he knows what he saw, and there was absolutely no way that they could have turned on that street because he would have seen them. They disappeared as if they had some kind of cloaking device. He found out that his show was canceled later that day. In our number 4 spot, we have the Niagara Hotel. A manager of a hotel in Niagara by the name of Sovar and his security guard reported seeing a triangular UFO outside their building. A group called the Aerial Phenomena Investigations Team reported the incident with the 2 men's consent. A few weeks later, 2 tall men in black suits came into the hotel and spoke with Sovar and the security guard. They freaked out the employees allegedly as they had identical faces, no eyebrows or eyelashes, and were very pale. These 2 men were caught on surveillance for the hotel, and that footage definitely makes me feel very nervous. A small part of me wants to go to Niagara and ask every hotel about this incident and just, find out which hotel it is. In our number 3 spot, we have the library. Apparently, a professor by the name of Peter Rojewitz claimed that he once was reading a UFO book in the library when all of a sudden a strange pale man wearing all black sat down next to him. The man suddenly began talking to the professor and asked him questions about flying saucers and his opinion on them. Peter said that he wasn't super interested in them. The man became very agitated by this. He eventually black suit. He had red lips and pale white skin.
Okay. Like this, but the bald-ass motherfucker had no hair, nothing. He was going to a person and threatening them to keep quiet. Now I was one of the kids at a very young age and got to see them. I even know the owners behind the company. They don't even fucking care. They're so fat and chubby. Way more fat than me. I don't even fucking care. They don't even fucking care about your asses. Sorry. They have shit to do. Like they have cancer shots basically to kill the animals. I know it's real because I received it. That's how scary they are. Wow.
The man took out a coin and told Hopkins to watch it. It started to develop a silver color. Black official. In our number 2 spot, we have the disc. A man by the name of Paul Miller experienced something so crazy one day when he was coming home from a hunting trip. He looked up and saw a luminous disc in the sky. The disc landed in a field and 2 humanoids left the craft. Paul had a weapon on him, and so he fired at the beings as he ran away, and he believes that he managed to hurt one of them. As he was running away from the scene, in a blink of a moment, he realized that he had lost time. It was suddenly 3 hours later than when he first saw the aircraft. He shrugged it off and went back to work as normal the next day. But when he got to work, 3 men in black suits approached him. He was informed that they had his file. He hadn't even told anyone about what he experienced, but these men said they knew all about it. They told him that it was best he forget about what happened. Yikes. In our number 1 spot, we have the photograph. A man by the name of Jim Templeton took a nice photo of his daughter holding some flowers, and when he got it developed, he discovered something else in the photo that was not there when he took it. A sort of white